You're looking for the truth. That's why you're here. That's why they all come here. Because they're tired of trying to put together the broken pieces of their lives and want to figure out what it's all for. And so they come. You've come to me, to someone who is there, to someone who can give you an inside view into God's plan. It's not like he was keeping it a secret, you know. But there are some who don't believe what they read in old books, so I tell them the story from our point of view. It took a long time to build this plan. Centuries of prophecy and messages. Years of waiting for the fullness of time. But he chose me to announce his coming. First, we needed a herald, a real old school prophet. So I announced to Zechariah that his wife would bear him a child. Fear not, Zechariah, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. They were going to call the baby Zechariah, but I told them to name him John because Zechariah the Baptist just really doesn't have the same ring, you know? And 6 months later, I got to meet the girl. Such a beautiful young woman, so in love with the father. Oh, she was so excited to become the mother of such an important child. It was obvious why he chose her. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, and shalt call his name Jesus. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Her yes would change the world forever. Convincing the girl was one thing, but convincing the emperor to take a census of the entire world, that proved much more difficult. But we did it. I mean, it was important that the child would be born in Bethlehem, but Mary and her fiancé, they lived in Nazareth. We thought a worldwide census would be the best option. In retrospect, a vacation for the family might have done just as well. Now, I was particularly excited to announce the birth of the child to the shepherds. Now, the big entrances are always fun, but when you hang around with angels all the time, you forget how terrifying we are. It took me a long time to coax them up off the ground, long enough to tell them how important this little child was. But when they understood, they ran off to that little village as fast as their legs could take them. And then, the Magi. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. Do you know how hard it would be for you or I to create a star that would rise at exactly the right time in exactly the right place? It would be next to impossible, but for him, it was as easy as a child connecting dots. And it worked. The Magi followed that star and bowed down at the cradle of the child. My next job was to warn them to go back by a different path. We had to protect that child from the wrath of the king. It seems so strange that we had to protect the all-powerful Son of God. But the cosmic war was about to break into the material world. And there are many who did not want that son to be born. But in the end it worked. And he grew up to be the most important man ever born. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. God joined with his creation in order to save all of you. That's pretty much all I can tell you. Our time is up. There are other people I have to tell about this amazing story. I've got to go. But think about it. Or, better yet, talk about it. Remember, it's not a secret. Merry Christmas.